So welcome to Berkeley Changemaker, Openness to Opposing Views. We are so glad to have you join our course. I'm going to turn to my co-course developer and ask you to please introduce yourself and share one thing about you we wouldn't know.
Thank you so much. I'm Jenna Johnson-Hanks. I'm Executive Dean of the College of Letters and Science, Professor of Demography and Sociology, and an alum of the college. My degree is in '94 in anthropology. One thing you wouldn't know that I was born and raised on an island in Alaska. So I get to ask you the same question. Please introduce yourself and share one thing about you that we wouldn't know from reading your CV.
Hi, I'm Laura Hassner. I'm Executive Director of the Berkeley Changemaker and Innovation and Entrepreneurship here at UC Berkeley. I also teach as a member of the professional faculty at Berkeley Haas, our business school. And one thing you wouldn't know about me is that I've lived abroad as an exchange student 3 different times, both at high school and in college, and have gone with my family on numerous overseas sabbaticals. And I really feel that that experience of living in foreign cultures and also understanding foreign languages, and that one word or one concept can be described in so many different ways, is really a part of my impetus for wanting to see this course happen.
That is such a wonderful story. And when we have more time, I want to hear more about where you lived and what you learned. But maybe before we go there, could you talk a little bit about what Changemaker is and it's sort of the broader framing of what the Changemaker program offers?
So Berkeley Changemaker is grounded in what we call the 3 C's: critical thinking, communication, and collaboration. We want to help our students sharpen the impact that they make, not just on their time here at Berkeley, but on the world, and equip them with the skills that they need to make that happen. And those skills are abundant in almost every single class that's taught here at UC Berkeley. We designate them as Berkeley Changemaker classes when our instructors become really intentional about spelling out those skills. And you'll find our suite of over 40 classes, if you're interested, here at UC Berkeley by searching for Berkeley Changemaker as a course type in the academic guide. Berkeley Changemaker is also largely funded through the generosity of our philanthropic donors. And I'm really grateful to them for providing the funding that we needed in order to be able to design this course.
Yeah, it's really magnificent when our donors step up to support things that are so foundational to what we do. Changemaker is a particular framework for thinking about how students can have important consequences and impact in the world. But these same values and aspirations and goals of communication, collaboration, and critical thinking, they, as you say, they underlie so much of what we do in all of our courses. They're really central, if I may say so, to a liberal arts education. And so that way of connecting what we do in a wide range of scholarly contexts with the specific way that students can lead lives of consequence and contribute to their communities and the work beyond themselves, I think it's just a really important strength of Changemaker.
Thank you. And it's what our students are really going to see in this course. And like many of our Berkeley Changemaker courses, it's a cross-disciplinary course. We have over 20 Berkeley faculty from departments across campus. So let's dive in and let's talk about the title, right? Okay. Openness to opposing views. Let's unpack that one. Do you want to begin?
Yeah, there's so much to begin in there. So we call it openness to opposing views because it was the best we could do to try to capture a really complicated set of ideas. What I really wanted to call it was something like how getting slowly less wrong over time in community is good for you. But that didn't quite roll off the tongue, so we settled on openness for opposing views. Which word should we take apart first? Should we start at the beginning?
I'll start with openness.
Yeah.
So we want to be really clear that in this course, we are not asking you to engage in conversation on an emotionally charged issue with another person. This is an asynchronous course, and that wouldn't be fair because you wouldn't have our support in doing that. But let's talk about the word openness. There are some cases where there is an opinion being expressed that you may not want to be open to. Your personal safety may be at risk. Your deeply held beliefs may be questioned in a way that feels unsafe to you. So before you even begin this class, we encourage you to follow those gut feelings and do what feels appropriate and what feels safe for you in this class. However, we also know that there's joy in the experience of engaging and being open to these opposing views, and we'll hope you'll find some of that within this course.
But maybe let's then now focus on opposing. opposing really feels like there's two ideas. There's A and there's B, and they're going to go at it.
Yes.
But on so many questions that matter, it's not really that there's two. There's 5 or 20.
Yes, absolutely.
And so we don't want to imply by calling this openness to opposing views that on most important issues there's really just two. So what we really mean is diverse or various or vibrantly many. Just the term opposing sort of strengthens the drama maybe. And so that's why we stick with it.
And views? I mean, that makes it almost sound like it's a perspective, when in fact, many of the times, especially about issues that are deeply held, it's a really emotionally charged moment. Do you want to say something more about that?
No, I think that's perfect. Although it is a little bit funny that we chose openness to opposing views, and now we're telling you what are the challenges with all of the words. So a lot of what we believe in here is learning, is trying things out and seeing how they go and getting less wrong over time. And so maybe with a title, we're in the same zone. We're getting less wrong over time. We'll find it.
And I think as you continue with the curriculum in this course, what you will find from faculty across campus is a really persuasive argument for the lack of black and white to these answers, in the sense that there is no binary, there's no 1, there's no 0, there's no right, there's no wrong. But the issues that our faculty members address in their research are really complicated and tend to exist in shades of gray.
Shades of gray, absolutely. So well said.